Welcome to the Koi Champion Spotlight.
Damn, this champ looks sick! I wonder if he comes with any dope skins I can buy.
Dad, I need to borrow your credit card.
Alright, it's time to smurf.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Are you winning, son? What is going on, guys? Koi here and welcome to the video. Now, we all know that clothes nowadays are pretty expensive, and in a world full of expensive clothes, sadly, we can't own it all. And when it comes to purchasing clothes, there are many different things to consider. Some look at metrics such as quality, ethics, and sustainability to guide their purchases. Some focus on staying on top of the latest trends, and some look at investing in timeless pieces that never go out of style. And some would simply say that it's a small price to pay for a boost in self-esteem and confidence. But one factor that no one can ignore is price. Cost is a factor that affects everyone at every level of fashion, and it's undeniable that participation in the world of fashion through direct consumption can prove highly inequitable by nature. Although prices and the word expensive are highly subjective, with Americans spending an average of $161 per month on clothing, it's no surprise that the US fashion industry is quickly approaching $500 billion and growing. Now, keep in mind that $161 is just an average. For example, someone like myself who is more into fashion than the average person might be horrified to find out how much I'm spending on clothing, while others who don't care about fashion simply might not be spending anything at all. But does that mean that in order to be into fashion you have to spend money? What if you are into fashion while simultaneously not spending a lot or anything on clothing? Which then begs the question, is fashion pay to win? So in today's video, I'll be trying to answer whether or not fashion is pay to win. And in order to answer this question, I'll be tackling it from a few different angles. The first angle is going to be seeing what outfits I can make with a $200 budget. Nowadays, with just sneakers easily reaching $100 to $200 on their own, outfits can quickly become quite expensive, even for entry-level outfits. So while $200 might sound like a lot to some people, I honestly feel like when you include the shoes, it's pretty fair for the total budget of an outfit. Now for the items I'm going to include, I could go out and buy new things, but that's no fun, so I'm just going to shop my closet and see what I can find, because just like gay people in the 90s, a lot of my clothes end up confused and stuck in the closet. Okay, and the first thing we've got to do is determine what items we can even fit in this budget, and I think out of the entire outfit, the most limiting factor is going to be the shoes, so let's go ahead and start there. Okay, so we have 5 pairs of shoes that are far enough under $200 to leave enough room in my budget to finish the rest of the full outfit. 4 of them are sneakers, which is unsurprising as sneakers are generally going to be cheaper than like leather or formal shoes, unless you're buying secondhand, thrifting, or buying fast fashion. So let's go ahead and see what outfits I can make with these 5 shoes. Looking at the outfits here, I honestly think they look pretty good, and I would and do wear a lot of these. Like, if I saw someone wearing these outfits, I wouldn't think they were unfashionable or looked bad or something, but I would say that there are some definite downsides, and I don't know if that's just me being a pretentious dick or that I'm more particular in my preferences at this point in fashion. In terms of clothing, I mostly have things I thrifted or purchased secondhand, as well as cheaper items such as t-shirts, fast fashion, and other various items. As you'll notice, not a lot of traditionally more expensive clothing items like outerwear. I mean, obviously things like jackets are naturally going to be more expensive than like a t-shirt. Also, clothes with more details such as certain materials or silhouettes that may be more common in designer clothing may also be harder to find at affordable price ranges. While this doesn't affect me as much personally, it's hard to accessorize with things, like sunglasses, bags, or jewelry. I mean, even hats can be hard to fit in the budget if the hat is more expensive. And all of these reasons are why I think a lot of these outfits end up looking fairly boring. Again, it's not that the outfits are necessarily bad or unfashionable, it's just that you're working within the constraints of a budget and therefore are limited in your options, which often results in creating similar and basic outfits. and the harsh reality is that it will be more difficult, or even impossible, to create certain looks at this price range. It could also be that looks in this price range are often closer to streetwear, which my personal style is kind of gravitating away from a bit at this point. You can definitely dress more formal at this stage, which I tried in an outfit, but I think it can almost look like MFA-like, which is also not my style. So anyway, yeah, at this price range, again, it's not like any of the outfits look necessarily bad, like I said. If I saw someone wearing this, I wouldn't think, that the outfits look bad or that they look bad or anything like that. But just something about it, it's almost as if like you can do something more to make it look even more fashiony, if that makes sense. I don't know if that's just me, but that's just how I feel looking at these outfits. Okay, and secondly, I'm going to be pulling all of my expensive designer clothes and creating some randomly generated outfits. So I went ahead and went through my closet and I pulled all of my more expensive or designer clothes into a numbered list. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a random number generator for each category of clothing and then randomly generate 5 outfits. Now, although these outfits will be randomly generated, because the clothes are all of my more expensive or designer outfits, it should follow that they should be better than their cheaper alternative counterparts, and therefore create better outfits, right? So let's go ahead and see what we get. Alright, and starting off with this first look, no we're not, because I created a random number possibility in each category of clothing. Unfortunately for this outfit, it meant a coat over a pair of shorts, which I'm not gonna lie, made me feel like one of those flashing characters that are like nude under a long coat. I also added this bag, which was fine, I guess. I mean, overall, in retrospect, I don't actually think this outfit was that bad, but it definitely felt weird wearing a coat over shorts. I do think it looks good, but maybe more so on girls. But I will say, I think the outfit looks better without the coat. Sometimes I think people can get carried away with just wearing too much, and in this case, I think I would rather keep it simple, stupid. The second look, again, pretty good. This isn't something I've worn before or thought to try on my own, like the sweater with the jeans, but I'm pleasantly surprised with how it looks. Not too sure what I'm doing here. I really need to stop. But wait, there's more. Again, another case where I think the base outfit was fine on its own, and then it got almost like ruined by trying to add too much to it. So I think in these last 2 outfits, clearly just throwing expensive item on expensive item doesn't really make the outfit better at all. Interesting. Okay, moving on to the third look, I really wish this outfit never happened, so I decided to put a cardigan in the top section and a blazer in the outerwear section. That sounds like it should work, but then I got both in this orangey outfit and it was just so awkward to wear together. I tried switching the cardigan to the outer layer, which while filming I thought was just as troll, but honestly looking at the footage now, I don't think it's that bad. Like maybe it's copium, I don't know. Even worse, I had to add one of my favorite bags to this just god-awful outfit, which I felt was almost disrespectful in nature. You can see the outfit with just one layer and how much better it looks as well, and I specifically like the outfit with just the blazer more, although neither are outfits I would actually wear. Okay, look 4. This outfit is weird because I actually didn't get anything else in this outfit. What's interesting to me is that all 3 pieces of this outfit I really like. I love the sweater, I love the trousers, and I love the derbies. But throwing them together in one outfit I think looks pretty bad. I thought about why I don't like it, and I think it's a proportional thing. I think if I had baggier trousers here, the outfit would look a lot better. And last but not least, look 5. My favorite look. Starting with this base, this is something I randomized that I would actually wear on my own. Of course, I did get some accessories as well. I guess I was bound to randomize a good fit eventually. The backpack kind of gives me schoolboy vibes. Something I will say is that I don't really like the beanie here. I think getting rid of the beanie makes the outfit look a lot better personally, But I mean, overall, this is actually a cool outfit to me and something that I would unironically wear. So good job on this outfit, random number generator. Unlike the cool teenagers at my local park, I never got to live the high life. But if as Meek Mill says is true, and there are indeed levels to this shit, then the highest level of fashion would be couture. So lastly, I'm going to be trying to emulate the highest level of fashion by attempting to replicate 5 looks from Balenciaga's recent 51st couture show, because as we all know, I just cannot for the life of me get an appointment at the Balenciaga couture store. Now this could be considered cheating, as I own a few Balenciaga pieces and other pieces that are actually extremely similar to some pieces on the couture runway. However, actual couture pieces are rarely available to the general public and sold in extremely limited quantities at extremely high prices, even above mainline designer prices. So it should follow that they are better, right? Lastly, here are some outfits I would wear if I was trying to mix the high-end pieces with the low-end pieces. Sometimes when you wear expensive items with cheap items, it can bring the high-end pieces down and make them look cheap and the whole outfit look tacky. But when done right, it can be a nice way to elevate the cheaper items and make them look more expensive. I also wanted to try different styles because not everyone is going to dress the same, whether it be formal, high-end, vintage, streetwear, or other styles. So what did I learn today? Well, from the first angle, you can definitely look pretty good on a budget. A lot of more expensive looks and pieces can be emulated by cheaper alternatives, but there's a reason they're called cheaper alternatives as opposed to cheaper better-thans. But just because you have a lot of money doesn't mean you're going to have style, which honestly is subjective even in itself. And just because an item is more expensive doesn't mean it's going to be better. But more money does mean you're going to have access to certain pieces or styles that may simply not be possible with a lower budget. You can still try to work around this with things like time spent working for steals or thrifting, for example, but it's a lot harder, and no matter what, it still won't be the same piece. The way I see it, it's like a 90-10 rule. You can probably achieve 90% of a more expensive look with cheaper alternatives, but the last 10% won't be possible without paying more money. Once you get into higher prices, you are paying for things such as attention to small details, and potentially, not even always, ethical and quality differences, which can make up that last 10%. And let's be real, for the majority of people, the 90% of a look is more than good enough, and most people won't even notice or care about the 10% difference, especially if they aren't into fashion. From the second angle, you can't just wear expensive piece with expensive piece and expect it to look good. Just because something is expensive doesn't mean it's good. Just because something is cheap doesn't mean it's bad. But there's probably at least a general correlation between more money equals better. To put it succinctly, money doesn't buy style, but it can help you buy style. But you can also make the money you do decide to spend on clothing go further. The fact is that depending on your fashion goals, some items are going to inherently be worth spending more on. For example, spending $500 on a designer graphic t-shirt or rarer colorway of a sneaker may not change your look or style drastically, while spending that money on things that are harder to emulate with a lower budget, such as a quality pair of leather boots or a piece with a unique shape or silhouette, likely will, and has a much higher likelihood of turning into a butterfly effect that will change your style overall. From the last angle, obviously I was kind of trolling, or maybe facetious is a better word. I feel like couture isn't even really meant to be everyday wear, and even if it is, for the vast majority of people, myself included, they won't be able to afford it, let alone access it. Some of the looks surprised me in how much I like them, but even then, it's a lot less wearable on a day-to-day basis anyway. It's more like one of those things I appreciate seeing, but not really participating in. Well, I guess I did participate in my own way. I mean, it was fun basically playing dress up in my room for this video, which is, basically what I did. So, what do I think? Generally, I would say fashion, at least in the sense of styling yourself, is kind of pay to win. At the very least, it's pay to play. But as we saw, certainly it's a lot more nuanced than that. For example, you could be into fashion without spending any money at all. You could love to analyze fashion, design your own clothing, or even love styling others, all without purchasing a single item of clothing. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up the video here. Fashion, like anything in life, is really what you choose to make out of it, and I hope that no matter what your budget, style, or reasons for being into fashion are, that you do whatever is best for you and whatever makes you happy. There are a lot of positives and negatives associated with fashion, and I think that a healthy balance of, external stimuli and focusing on yourself will really help keep it enjoyable and fun in the long run. And at the end of the day, in the grand scheme of life and the universe, fashion is so fucking trivial. Like, even this entire video is just my opinion, so whether or not you agree with it, who cares? So just have fun with it, and I will see you in the next one.